You put makeup on a pig, it's still pig.
Yeah. I know guys that are like missing arms and legs and they can't even get a replacement prosthetic, but you can go get a new set of boobs.
Apparently everybody hates me on YouTube.
It actually might be beneficial for American culture for all these things to happen all the time, because then like enemy countries, they never know what we're talking about.
Oh,
It's kind of to the point where if you exist and you've got a hole in your body, you're getting assaulted.
You're getting because you don't have discipline. There's mold in your barracks because you don't have discipline.
What can we do to help it?
Whatever.
Welcome back to the He's Wrong, She's Right podcast. I'm Andrew. This is Nona. And today we are joined with Jay and Kaila Fain. Jay is also known by Jay Limp, which I think is awesome. We'll get to that story, I'm sure, at some point, but welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So, I know the audience is going to be like, a guy named Jay Limp. Looks like he's probably a veteran. What the hell happened there? Well, you want to jump right into that story?
I need to know the story.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I know you really can't see the whole picture here, but, you know, you see the prosthetic.
Is that battery powered?
It is.
So does it actually like articulate, or does it work like with impulses from your muscle, or is it just like based on, you know, if you lift your leg, it knows to bend? How does it work?
Yeah. There's like sensors and motors and cool.
We had some friends over last week and we were talking about breast implants and how they have like a warranty and everything like that. And I'm like, I know guys that are like missing arms and legs and they can't even get a replacement prosthetic, but you can go get a new set of boobs.
I didn't know.
Well, at least.
What did that thing cost?
I don't really know the numbers. Like, I just get it taken care of with my leg people, and the VA pays for it all. So.
Yeah, everybody's got leg people, right? So is that a story you're okay talking about? How it happened? And
Yeah.
So dive right into it.
Yeah. Well, 17 years ago when I was in Baghdad, I was hit by a roadside bomb, and it was an EFP, so it was one of those like the copper projectiles they put inside of a PVC pipe or something, and they kind of point it towards a vehicle or something, and then when it blows up, it goes through vehicles like hot knife through butter, and that's what through the vehicle I was sitting in, which ultimately, as you see, I got an amputation out of it. Yeah.
So it's basically like a shape charge, but a really crude one. Interesting.
Yeah.
17 years ago. What was I in at that? Yeah, I was in 17 years ago. Man, that's been a long time.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm trying to do math right now. Where was I 17 years ago?
Right, like
2007.
2007.
Oh, that was the year I graduated high school.
Me and you both, Nona.
Okay. Oh my God, I feel so old.
My time in service is almost old enough to vote.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not in it anymore, but so yeah, man, there's a million things that we were talking about, texting and messaging, going back and forth and everything. How did you guys meet? Like, let's go over some life stuff. I know Nona prefers that kind of talk over the whole war story talk.
Sure.
Yeah, what is your guys' story?
I was working for Black Rifle Coffee.
Okay.
And, Jay was one of their, you were an influencer.
I was Jay Limp.
Then they hired him to go and do the BRCC fund. And so he ran that for that year. And we were able to just open up stores and travel and get to know one another. And he fell in love.
Over there, you look like you're about to puke when she said love.
Right. You.
Whoa.
He didn't look like he was going to be. He was smiling in his own way.
In his own way.
I was telling the story and you were like,
Somebody got super white knighty for you in the comments for how you told the story about how you and I met. And I was saying, show the messages, and they're like, you can look how defensive he's getting. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't want people to think that I was that guy that would just like kept messaging her and she wasn't responding. We were having a back and forth conversation. Yeah. The comment is hysterical because they are straight up white knighting for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate this random person. That's the one nice thing that they've said about me on, what is it, YouTube or
Yeah, it was on
where?
YouTube.
Okay. Apparently everybody hates me on YouTube. He let me know that.
That's dumb.
So if people don't like something we say in the show, the first thing they comment is how they hate the name and that the name is stupid. They're like, of course, oh, you must be male feminist and whatever. And then the second thing they'll say is it'll be something about her look. It's never about my look. It's always about her look. People get so mad and so offended.
Somebody said that I was going to die of Botox and fillers. So my response to that is, well, first thing, none of my business what anybody has to say about me. I don't care. And second of all, if you want to pay for me to go get my lips done, these are my natural lips and I will happily blow them up for you.
Hell yeah.
I don't care.
Hell yeah.
Stream right there at the
Yeah, sure.
Is it like a surgical
I don't
place?
care.
Is
Yeah.
it surgery center, or is it just a normal doctor's office?
No, not a normal doctor would not do that.
But I'm saying, like, what would it be? Like, what would we
You would have to go to either a med spa or a plastic surgeon.
But we could take all the equipment with us, is what I'm asking.
Oh God, no, I don't think they would be okay with that. But
Why not?
you could video on your phone. But anyways, back to you guys. We've completely digressed. Let's talk about you guys. What year was this that you guys met?
2021.
Oh, okay, so very recently.
Yeah. We met in January 2021. We started doing work and traveling together in like February or March. And then we were on the road. And then we started dating in May, and he asked me to marry him in August. And then we got married in October.
Oh,
My man knew what he wanted.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
On the side of a river, the one with what was it? The Legends of the Fall River.
That's
Where's that?
familiar.
The movie Legends of the Fall.
I've never seen it. Never even heard of it.
I'll have to look it up now.
Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, it's a old movie.
1994.
Yeah. And it was awesome. Right by a mountain on the side of a river. It was cool.
Aw, that's very sweet.
I'll have to watch the movie now, just so that we can know. We can have the kids down here. I know somebody that proposed there. Right?
Yeah,
That's a much better proposal story than what he gave to me.
Hey.
well,
It's
the
okay.
rest is history.
Aw.
Yeah.
And you guys live together in Kansas City now, but you lived previously somewhere else?
Yeah, we were living in Texas, and then because we were working a lot. And
Okay.
Then, we went down to South Carolina for a little bit, and then we finally just we bought a house here in Kansas City.
Nice.
And why Kansas City of all the places that you've been?
My family's my son's here. He's going to school here. This is where his life's at right now. So we're just trying to be close and get him through high school, and then who knows where life will take us after that.
High school. That,
Yeah.
gosh. I mean, you and I graduated the same year, and I feel like high schoolers now are going through even so much more than we went through.
With stuff that with the things that I'm working on right now, I'm doing a lot of work with kids in school systems, and it's a whole nother breed right now. It's a whole new generation of problems that they're creating. It's gnarly.
I loved somebody took a picture of the like off limits words from their teacher's class whiteboard.
Skibbity.
Yeah, but it was all those things that kids have learned on YouTube and TikTok and stuff recently. But then one of the ones on the list made me laugh, and it was Ohio, and I was like, yes, that's the perfect word to be off limits. Hate that word.
I don't know. That whole thing, it's all the new words like, "Oh, you got the Riz." You know?
Oh yeah.
You're a Rizzler. I'm like, what the?
Let him cook. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
I think I did. I don't know. Say I don't even try to pretend.
I try to keep up with Carson.
It's like they create their own language.
Yeah.
we did an episode with the oldest daughter and her friend a couple months back, and they were quizzing us on like these words and terms and stuff. We were supposed to try and figure them out. I think we got like 50% without much context, but there were some ones that were just didn't make any sense at all. So we posted the video, we posed the question.
The one that still gets me is, I'm about to butcher it, gyat.
Yeah.
And it means having a big booty.
So somebody explained it in the comments. It's they're saying
Like,
"yacht damn," but they can't say "damn."
Yeah,
at school.
I don't get it. The gyat. And it's
Just
it looks like an acronym. It's like
GYAT.
yeah, but in all caps.
And then you're like, yeah, no cat.
It's all dumb to me. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
I refuse to learn it.
Yeah.
So I have this theory, right, that it actually might be beneficial for American culture for all these things to happen all the time, because then like enemy countries like Russia and China, they never know what the we're talking about.
Oh
It's like
my God.
we're being cryptic, but like on complete.
They watch these reels and these TikToks too.
No, 'cause
they know what is happening.
They're trying to learn proper English first, right? Like just how anybody, when you learn another language, you learn the proper
I am
textbook
American
version.
gyat.
Yeah.
That's, I am not secretly a Russian spy gyat.
Wow. What hilarious.
All right. Anyways, back to you guys. We keep digressing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's fine though.
So you said you're working in or helping students.
I am. So right now we're trying to figure out a way. I currently I help kids with behavioral problems.
Okay.
And so I'm trying to become the community advocate so that we're I'm the bridge between parents, school, and law enforcement, because we've been having a lot of kids going up to juvie that, getting case referrals to juvie offices and stuff like that, where it could have been prevented. All they need is a little bit of direction in TLC and some actual guidance.
For middle school and high school, or just high school?
All ages. For right now, Mondays I'll go from 11 to 1, and we have lunch with some kids for each lunch period, and each one so they're just struggling with something, one being kind to yourself, or I've got a couple boys that are fighting all the time, or we have all these things. So we're kind of talking them through and being like, hey man, that's not how stuff works,
Right.
So
No, that's amazing. And that one-on-one time with them is, I'm sure, exactly what they need. And thank you. That's amazing.
when you're trying to relate to them, are you professional Kayla, or are you real Kayla?
I'm real Kayla. I've got a couple of kids that thought that they were gangsters, and I'm like, yo, I'm about to show you a fucking real gangster, bro.
So what is your background?
I'm like, I probably can't say that, but I'm just like, you're from middle America in a little country town. Sit down and fall back.
Well, the problem is with some of these kids that are having these issues or whatever, it's just kind of smacking them around a little bit, not literally,
Right.
with life, and just kind of bringing them back down to earth. Be like, hey, you're just a kid.
Yeah,
Right.
You don't have to deal with grown-up problems.
Right.
We have a lot of kids that are trying to, do drugs and sell drugs or gangster around and run with adults, because the adults are using them as messenger boys. Like, hey, go get that money from me. That guy owes me, and they're kind of just growing up too fast. And now, so we'll put them in MMA or something extracurricular so that they can get that energy out.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way they're able to kind of work through their really big emotions,
Mm-hmm.
and then get to them to a clear brain, and they can actually make good decisions for themselves and see that, it's not that serious, especially right now. Like, you need to chill, go eat some cotton candy and go to bed. Go chill.
No, having a good outlet for the emotional regulation is important.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we've been really preaching, is that, and like mindset. And so like, emotions, and trying to get through those things, and think about like not letting past things you up twice.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the typical, I know you said like middle school, high school and stuff like that, but like what is the typical age where it seems like that specific age is where it really starts?
8th grade.
8th grade?
Middle school. Mm-hmm. That's where we've seen most of the problems, middle schools for sure. High school, they're kind of like, we've heard a lot that once they get to high school, it's like a different world. They're like, the teachers are different. They treat us different. I'm like, yeah, because high school, I mean, it's contained, but the way that it works and the way that you do things, if they do it right, it's supposed to get you ready for, real life. And like having to deal with social situations and communication and stuff like that. And, as us growing up, we definitely didn't have that kind of guidance where we're fighting and doing all this mess. And so that's why I had to join the military. I was like, that's for some of these kids. I mean, really, what their future is, military stuff, because it's either that or they're going to be on drugs or dealing drugs or whatever. Cause I'm already catching them with drugs in their backpack.
Do you report that, or do you just say, don't do it again? Like, do you let them off once?
I try and include the parents. Like I'm trying to make everybody accountable. Yeah.
And just genuinely curious, what do the parents say?
So it's kind of split down the middle. You have parents that are like, I need help. And those are the ones that are really, really receptive to what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then got parents that are like, that are doing drugs and doing all the things and let their partners run their life in their house, and their kids kind of get left off the wayside. And so like I deal with that. And then I deal with, people that are just completely oblivious, where they're like, oh my God, that would never happen to me. And I'm like, it will. Well, it's just
the way you talk to people cracks me up. That's what I'm laughing at, not at the situation.
Well, it's real life. I mean, I just want to be, I tell people all the time that like both of us, we've both suffered enough that, if you can live from our life experience and what we're telling you and just do what you need to do to get yourself on the right track, and like, don't marry that kid at 18 years old. Don't join the military and get married just for money. Don't do, we've done it. We all lived it. When it was all just all the things, and you're just like, hey, don't do this.
Nobody in the military gets married for money, Kayla. What are you talking about? That's never happened.
Never, ever.
Remind them that the best part of being a child is not having to pay bills, because as soon as they turn 18 and have to start paying for life, it sucks.
I'll tell you, if my mom's watching, I'll be like, yo, can I come back and live?
Right?
So out of curiosity, you're talking about how high school is a whole new world and new teachers and everything like that. Do the middle schools out there have recess?
No, I don't think so.
No.
So the charter school that the youngest three go to is K through 8. And so they do 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They do have recess. And I thought that was the weirdest thing.
But it's only because it's all on the same campus and they all kind of have similar schedules. So that's the only reason why. If it was a completely separate campus, they would be doing their own thing.
Like an alternative.
One high school, and then we have a building for 7th and 8th grade, and then we have a building for 5th and 6th grade, and then a building for 3rd and 4th, and then primary.
Oh, wow.
Is this like a really big school, or just they chunked it up?
But we have small town. It's a small town that we live in. Yeah.
Are you guys city people, or like, would you prefer to live in a city, or are you like suburb, outback?
Well, right where I'm at. I like the quiet. Traffic just makes me unnecessarily angry.
It's literally him.
The Wilmington traffic. Okay, so here's the problem. If you've never been to Wilmington, for anybody else that's never been to Wilmington, Wilmington has 2 roads, and they converge just a couple miles from here in an area called Monkey Junction. There are no alternative routes. So if somebody gets into a wreck, guess what? You're just sitting there until it gets cleaned up. You're not going anywhere. You get every red light. You will sit at every red light on US 40 for at least 3 changes of the light. You will never make it through the intersection unless it's like 8 p.m. You will not, from the time a light goes green to green, you will not make it through it the first time.
If you've learned one thing today, it's don't bother talking about traffic in Wilmington with Andrew and continue talking about yourself, please.
So you guys,
I guess there's plenty of things to be angry about, but to be angry about, I mean, it's a good way to focus your anger towards something that really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's traffic.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm getting all of my anger out at traffic so I can come home and be happy.
I don't think I've ever seen you happy after coming home
I'm always
from
happy.
being in traffic. You're like, people in North Carolina can't drive. This is, why do I live here? Wah!
Hey, man.
It's literally on a daily basis.
These people around here do it.
They are. You are doing too much, man.
Is it fast paced out there or is it like mellow? I've never been there before, so I have no idea.
I haven't either.
It's mellow.
It's mellow.
Yeah.
But people be doing too much out on the streets here.
Do you guys have squatted trucks out there?
Wadded trucks?
Yeah.
Like the one that's like squatted
like-
in the back,
Yeah.
lean backwards. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen
South
them.
Carolina lean.
Like
Yeah.
No, well, I've seen them. Not too many out here.
It's unfortunate.
So they outlawed them here. Was that last year?
It was 2 years ago, I think.
Yeah, but when I went to Fort Liberty with the kids to take them to the museum again a couple weeks ago, I saw one again for the first time in forever, and I just got irrationally angry.
They call it Fort Liberty, man. You got to call it by the real name.
Yeah, dude, I see people on Twitter all the time talking about like Fort Cavazos and whatever. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
You put makeup on a pig, it's still a pig.
Yeah. Yep.
Fort Hood is a cesspool.
All of it. Yeah. That we could probably all go into all that for hours. The first time,
absolutely, yeah.
the first time I took Nona there, she was going up there to do some hand out some stuff for her insurance business, and we drove on to Post, and she was like, "This place just looks like I'm gonna die from asbestos."
Correct. Accurate.
Yep.
Yeah.
So getting back on track here. Sorry, Nona's she's staring at me because she wants me to get back on track. How long did each of you work with Black Rifle?
3 years.
More a couple years at least.
Well,
Contracted for a little bit,
yeah, for like 8. You knew him for
and then about a year or so when I was full time.
yeah. But you've known Matt and all them for a long time.
Yeah.
I was explaining to Nona yesterday. I've seen Caleb Francis doing ad reads for Time for Pie with JT, and they're doing ad reads for like Adam and Eve. So he's got like all these toys and stuff that he's like promoting, and I'm like,
I love Caleb. He's hilarious.
yeah. I'll have to find the video and show it to you. But she's like, I don't know who that is, and I was like, he's another guy that just kind of like works but doesn't for Black Rifle. He's involved, but I don't know how to explain like
An influencer.
Yeah. There was a oh gosh, it was like a fashion show or something that we recorded, and they put it out.
A fashion show?
Yeah, for the guys. And
Cute.
They did content video. You see me in the crowd, like, right, and then Caleb comes out in like this V spandex thong.
Like Borat?
Yeah, and it was hilarious.
Do you have a picture?
The Muff Awards.
Muff Awards.
That's what it was called. The video was called the Muff Awards.
Oh my God. That made me think of like Larry's the Bald Beaver,
Yeah.
the business he wants to open. The Bald Beaver, the Muff Awards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which channel was that on? Was that on Black Rifle's main channel, or it was? I don't think I've seen that.
I don't need to see that, but thank you.
It was one of their like commercials.
No, they
for
wouldn't
something.
put that on their main channel.
Yeah, that was a
That was probably on Matt's channel.
Possibly. That is where they did a lot of the original stuff, because that's how he became famous. The bikini snap and all that other stuff that he did. I actually don't remember the content. I know a couple of the videos because he did like a Thanksgiving with the family or whatever, and everybody's upset, and his family JT like turns into a terrorist and comes down and like blows everyone up.
The videos they made back in the day were
Yeah.
those were back in the days where like, you know, they didn't have red tape wrapped around their hands. They could just kind of do whatever they want.
Yeah. Matt and Edwin, because I had asked them if they could or would come on. They're like, dude, I would love to, but we have to go through HR and all this stuff and get approval, and it has to go like through the board, and they're probably going to say no anyways because they don't know who you are. And I was like, but isn't that actually better? Because you're not coming on to talk about Black Rifle. You're just coming on to like shoot the with us, and we're an unknown. Like, you wouldn't want your employee going on Rogan like just on their own, right? You would want Evan or Matt or whoever going on Rogan. You wouldn't want the other guys. Like they wouldn't want Jay and Kayla going on there. They would want Matt and Evan going on there. Mm-hmm. But you would think that you want your people going out there, especially if they're like well-liked people within the company and have been there basically forever. I mean, Edwin's been there since day one. Matt's been there basically since day one. Matt Leviner, that is. Yeah.
I love it. And Lee. Lee, my heart.
Yeah, Lee's coming on, I think, next week, but Matt can't. What was that?
I said, tell her I said hi.
Will do. I told Nona that I'm trying to get like
I don't
more.
know any of these people.
Well, you met Matt in Salt Lake City.
We ate pizza together.
Yeah.
That was all I remember.
Right. Well,
That
Salt Lake
was
is
my goal was find me a pizza place. I'm eating.
Yeah.
Right. No,
Anyways.
beautiful. I always get super distracted driving in Salt Lake just because of all the really pretty mountains and the scenery. I was like, oh.
We had our Uber driver was really weird.
Are we going back?
Possibly. Yeah, this month.
Salt
It's
Lake.
not this month.
Next month, yeah. Yeah, for Warrior Rising's gala.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Right, but I need you to commit. Are we or aren't we?
Well, we have to find
I'm
out after.
tired of this maybe.
We have to find out how the dogs do for this trip this weekend. Mm-hmm. Make sure that.
I'm hiring a dog sitter for the very first time this weekend. We have never left the dogs for all three dogs for 2.5 days. We're only going for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
We're going to be packing everything into 2.5, whatever. Do you want to guess how expensive a dog sitter is for 3 dogs for 2.5 days? Just guess.
$2,000.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
That makes me feel a little better. $250.
Oh, that's cheap.
What?
Yeah,
I
man.
used to dog sit when I was in high school and middle school. I got paid $10 a day. $10 a day.
Now, right? So people don't want to leave their dogs with like any old body. And so they're going through like apps like Rover. We tried finding somebody to watch our dogs, and it was $400 a dog per night because of insurance and whatnot. I was like,
Oh yeah, we didn't do it through an app. We're using his friend's daughter who he thought was 16, told me was 16. She came over here. I'm pretty sure she's 18 because she said she was doing her prereqs to get into the sonography program. No 16-year-old is in the sonography program. So I'm pretty sure she's older than. So I thought I was meeting the 16-year-old, and I was like, feel free to have any snacks we have in the house. I've got, a ton of snacks. Just don't have any alcohol. I thought I was talking to a 16-year-old.
Right.
I don't keep track of my friends' kids' ages.
Pretty sure she's 18 or 19 even. But at this point, it's too embarrassing to ask her. So anyways, she's the one who came up with the 250. I was like, just let me know. Like, we just need you to come on this day for these times, walk the dogs, feed them. That's it. Have whatever you want. You're welcome to, hang out, do whatever you want. You obviously don't have to sleep here. She lives like 2 miles away. And then just let me know how much you want to get paid. And I was just shocked. The $250. That was just wild to me. But I was like, okay.
I was already prepared to pay more than that. So when she told me the price, I was like, oh, that's actually cheaper than what I was thinking.
Well, it was the first time I've ever hired somebody, ever.
There you go.
So, Jay, do you have any kids?
No.
No? Are you guys able to or trying or want one?
Rude. You're not supposed to ask people that.
Okay.
No.
Don't answer.
We were going to, but I found out I had breast cancer back in April.
I remember that.
They had to take I had to get a full hysterectomy and double mastectomy and all that other biz starting this past May. And so that wasn't in the cards for us.
I'm so sorry.
But we do a lot of work with a lot of kids. And so it's kind of, he's like, ooh. There's a lot.
Do you really want to have to deal with that every day? Do you really want to have one of those?
Right. I keep telling him, like, you see that? You see it?
Well, I don't mind, especially the kids that we deal with. But also at the same time, I really don't have to deal with them if I don't want to,
We have Carson. He's about to turn 16. All of our time can go into him in football and high school, and we get to just do what we came here to do.
It's awesome. I've seen you post pictures of him playing football. Are they pretty good?
Yeah, they've been really good. We really like this coach that they've got this season. Well, he's been here for a couple of years, and he knife hands, and he's a really good coach. So,
what position does your son play?
He's defensive end. He's on the line.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what that means.
He's on the line. He's a lineman. He's
okay,
a big kid.
that
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm trying to think.
Good.
No, Cooper played tackle.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, if you have 4 down defensive linemen, they're the 2 outside linemen.
Yes, that's what Carson plays. Yeah.
I'm trying to explain it to a person that's going to her first football game ever tomorrow.
Yeah,
So-
ever. Period. Never been in my entire life to any football game other than my children's.
So I'm gonna be out there yelling stuff. She's like, I don't know what's happening. The ball's over there. Why are you yelling at these people over here?
Go ball.
Right. How come it didn't make it into that fork thing?
Yeah.
Stop. I'm not that dumb. Rude.
That reminds me of the
Rude.
State Farm commercial with the guy from Ted Lasso, because they combined a American football with a soccer ball. So it's an American football like with cancer.
So a rugby ball?
No, rugby ball is just a big football. This is like it has the normal ends of a football and it still has laces on it, but the middle is like round. So it's like an overinflated soccer or football.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain it. But anyways, he's playing soccer and football at the same time and running around being that he was the Mexican soccer player that was on the team in the show.
Right.
The one that was like really passionate all the time.
Right. He
Yeah.
was the goalie, right?
Mm,
No.
No.
I don't remember. I don't remember what he played, but yeah, I remember him.
Yeah. Have you guys watched that show?
No.
It's pretty
Andrew
good.
said it's supposedly coming back.
Yeah. In January. It's confirmed.
Oh, okay. I'll believe it when I see it.
Right. That's all we're waiting for is upcoming seasons of everything.
What's your favorite show?
Yeah.
I don't
I
really.
mean, right now we're watching a few shows.
Yeah.
Like,
When The Boys, Yellowstone, we just got done watching 1883 and 1923. Those are pretty freaking bitchin'. I like those.
I couldn't.
We're almost done with The Sopranos.
Yeah.
oh, going old school.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I have never seen The Sopranos, but I've heard good things.
I haven't either.
You know, my take. The first, I mean, we're on the last season. It's 6 seasons. The first 5 seasons were great, but this last season is kind of weird.
They're trying to wrap it out. Yeah.
I feel like every HBO season that is final is exactly that same story.
Yeah.
Could have ended the season before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what. Oh, and I'm watching Game of Thrones for the first time with one of my friends. I've never seen it, so
What season are you on now?
I'm in season 3.
I watched it for the very first time with Andrew. He made me watch it in 2020.
Probably.
Yeah. And I got into it. I could see Chloe getting into it. So give it another year, and I think Chloe and I will watch it together.
You guys are going to watch all of Game of Thrones?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to be part of that?
Sure.
It's just a lot. There's a lot to follow, and so like my friend is like the perfect person to watch it with because she tells me like all of the little like, no, that's why they're doing this. Remember, we're doing, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Wait, who's that guy?
Yeah, there's so many characters that you actually don't even really understand what's going on until the second time that you watch it.
Yeah, that's why she's doing it with me so that I can just not have to do it twice.
See, I watched it. I watched most of it up. I believe season 5 was where I started. Like that, I watched it as like it came out. So I watched 5, 6, and 7, 5, 6, 7, and 8, all like as they were released. But because I'm one of those people that I completely forget everything that happened 3 seconds ago, like a goldfish in real life, that I didn't remember any of like the story from the season before. So I was always like, I don't understand. Why is this happening? What's going on? And then when you watch it all at once, binge watch it over like a week or 2 weeks or whatever, then you're like, oh.
Nobody can watch all of Game of Thrones in 2 weeks. What?
You know what I meant. What's a show that you guys, or movie that you guys don't agree on?
That we don't agree on?
Yeah, like you have to go to like a different room because you don't want to watch it or they do or whatever.
Like shows or TV shows or movies or anything?
Yeah, just anything that you guys don't agree on like that.
We don't really have. I got him interested in Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny.
What about
You'll have to share what's like the juiciest.
It was hilarious.
Well, she's also watching Vampire Diaries with a friend, and I don't really watch it because I think it's kind of corny.
Yeah, that's too cheeseball for me to follow.
Do you guys watch Housewives?
Finish it. I have to finish it.
Do you guys watch Housewives?
No.
Hmm.
No. The Mormon Wives is definitely as close as I've gotten.
The Mormon Wives stuff is hilarious because they're young-ish, you know, and
They're young. Yeah, they're like 24 to 28, maybe.
I
don't know if I could. I look at these girls and I'm just like, I kind of just see them as like, I am almost old enough to be their dad, or I can be with some of them, and I'm just like, and they talk all this stuff, and I'm like, wow. I think my prediction for them is when they get older, they're gonna look back at this time at that show and be like, what the were we thinking? You know, like,
well, it all played out on TikTok before the show, correct?
Yeah.
That's where they started, is mom talk.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is that they're the breadwinners. They're the breadwinners run. Okay?
Right.
But think of this. They're the breadwinners that can afford to live in Salt Lake City.
Mm-hmm.
So like a house as much as like the size of mine in Salt Lake would probably be like $750,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so like being a breadwinner off of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
To live in Salt Lake City is what is crazy for me. I'm like, yo, that is some boss stuff, being able to go on there and be able to pay for something like that over social media.
All right, spill the tea. Did they swing?
Yes.
Oh my God. So
Not all
I'm not on TikTok, so I only know like little clips of like what gets shared onto like Instagram or whatever.
This is the first I'm hearing about any of this.
Girl, he was part of a swinging controversy that actually happened. I don't know if any of the other girls were a part of it, but they were like a part of it because it was their husbands or something. I don't know.
I thought the story was that they all would hang out together and would soft swing.
Yeah.
And they were allowed to like kiss and touch, but nothing more than that with each other's spouses.
Yeah, no, they were, from what we gather, they were having whole ass orgies. Yeah. And then like part of the Mormon religion and all this.
Like, in what world is that Mormon approved?
Air it on TikTok.
If they have to wear garments that are like these trouser things to be non-sexualized, then how are they able to then be swingers? Like, how can you put those two things in the same sentence? Oh, I'm a good Mormon woman.
Well, it's the same thing. To err is human, right? So they still had their stuff that they wanted to do. You have Mormons that follow the rules, and then you have Mormons that are like, they're just guidelines basically rather than actual rules.
What was that show that we watched? That true crime docu-series thing with that guy that got kicked out?
Are you talking about the one who kidnapped the girl?
Yeah, with Splooge or whatever his name was from The Office.
Splooge?
What was the plop?
Yes.
It's all the same. Have you guys watched The Office?
No.
I'm holding back laughter. Okay.
There's an actor, like a newer up and coming actor. He had a bunch of stuff came out this year, like back to back to back. But that's all we knew him from, and we didn't know his real name. So we just were like, yeah, that show with the guy from The Office, Plop.
Because that was his nickname. Oh, God. Okay. Anyways, you've completely digressed the story. So let's get back on track.
Yeah. But yeah, we don't have any movies that we really differ on. He doesn't like scary movies, so I haven't really gotten a lot of that.
I don't either. I can't watch anything scary. I have very vivid dreams in general, so if I watch anything scary, it's just horrendous.
I love the haunted houses, and I love the ghost stuff and all of it.
We were talking about the when the Dave Grohl thing happened. I was showing her the movie that he and the band made. It was like a haunted mansion, like rock house. I don't remember what the thing was. I was like, it's a funny movie. It's not even scary. She's like, no, I can't even watch that.
No, I love it.
What?
No, I can't.
I mean, I think like scary movies and stuff are, I don't know. I just don't get scared watching them. That's just, when I want to watch something, I want to watch something I enjoy watching or looking at. And scary movies just doesn't do it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the whole genre now has gotten like weird. Everything's like supernatural. It's not just like guy comes out of the swamp and tries to stab you and chases you. It's like there has to be alien pigs.
Or it's mimicked after real life. Like, what is it? Eyes Wide Shut or something, where they all went to an island and it's kind of mimicked after Diddy's parties, and they've been drugged and they had no idea how long that they've been there, and I don't know.
No, Eyes Wide Shut is Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman.
Oh, okay. I said the wrong one. It was the one with Channing Tatum that just came out a couple months ago, maybe in August.
We have it.
And Kravitz, am I saying the last name correct?
Lenny?
No, not Lenny. It's a woman.
His daughter?
Zoe, maybe?
Yeah, that's right.
They're dating now, but it's whatever movie they did together.
Yeah, they're dating Zoe Kravitz and Channing Tatum. I haven't seen the trailer for it though.
There's not a lot of new recent movies that's come out in the recent years that are been worth watching.
Yeah.
If I'm watching
Deadpool
something,
3.
I want to watch something funny.
Deadpool 3. Free Guy was hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Free Guy was pretty good. Yeah.
Is it Blink Twice?
Yeah, okay. It had eyeballs. I said the wrong eyeball.
He's taking a Polaroid picture. And he's supposed to be... Is this supposed to be like Diddy? Billionaire Slater King meets cocktail waitress Frida. Okay, whatever. Yeah, director Zoe Kravitz. Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyways.
What?
Anyways.
Well, let's get back on track here.
Right.
So anything exciting happening in your guys' life in 2025?
2025.
I'm going in the end of January to talk at a conference for a nonprofit called Shield for Sisters. And we aim to help women that have been assaulted in the military.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so they want me on a panel. And I'm like, okay, I'll come, but good luck with that.
That sounds heavy.
You're just going to be talking about carrying weapons on you and beating their asses and everything? Or
No, I'm going to talk about, yes, I'm going to talk about self-defense, but also like confidence and, mindset and, stop a lot of women that I run into in situations like this just kind of live in their victim. So I'm trying to end that.
And what about a protocol in reporting and the victim not getting in trouble?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to fight. They're trying to figure out, we can help, females that have been assaulted and, they don't get in trouble by their chain of command and have retaliation and stuff like that. Cause it's just, it's kind of to the point where if you exist and you've got a hole in your body, you're getting assaulted. So, that's what I see.
did you just see that story of the guy, I think he was at Fort Bragg, that was just arrested for all the breaking in and tying the women up and all that stuff? I had no idea that this was even happening until I saw the news about his arrest. It's like 7 or 8 women. Killed.
Then there was another female at, she was young, at Fort Leonard Wood, and they just found her dead.
Oh, wow. I didn't know about that.
Yep.
So
just a couple of days ago.
He was like breaking into their barracks rooms and then raping them, tying them up, raping them. And then he would like choke them to death and like put them in like a container or whatever to like smuggle their body out and then take them. So this one chick, she like faked like passing out and he put her in the little box. And when he got her to the location where he was planning on burying her, she was able to get up and run, take off, and he like tried shooting at her and missed. It's like the only way they were able to catch him was because they had a witness that actually.
Good for her.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Ones.
What was that?
I said she was one of the lucky ones.
Well, still unlucky, but yeah, at least she survived.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Because normally they don't.
So what's crazy to me is like, I felt like that didn't happen at all. Like when I was in, maybe not when I was in, but where I was in and the units where I was. It's like
just because you didn't experience Andrew doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I'm saying I was always like the units that I was in were always disconnected from the larger units on that installation. So like when I was at Benning, it had nothing to do with third ID, and that's the majority of what's there. So I would have no clue as to what nonsense was going on with any of them or regiment or anything like that. Same thing when I was in Camp Casey. We were with a support brigade, that had nothing to do with second ID. So I had no connection with any of those people. And there wasn't really, I guess now a lot of this stuff, like they have like text alerts that all of them get. So like if something's going on, they can send out a mass text like, hey, stay away from this street. There's a report of whatever going on.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm just learning about all this now is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You put makeup on a pig, it's still a pig.
Yeah. And the generals will blame you and say it's discipline.
Yeah.
You're getting because you don't have discipline. There's mold in your barracks because you don't have discipline.
No, because you're government property and you're allowing government property to be damaged, is what I was told.
I can hear that. I can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the girls that I've talked to, that's, they don't get the support. They're getting in trouble. They're getting kicked out of the military, all because of one, they need help. They're in their own situations in living life. And then, they're going to their NCOs and asking for help. And then it's like, yeah, sure, I'll help you. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's real life. I mean, that's what's happening every day. And I'm sick of it.
So how long has this nonprofit been around? Are they pretty new or are they seasoned and been around?
Why? Not a long time, but just a few years. Yeah. It's ran out of Minnesota.
Okay.
Wisconsin. Sorry.
Well, hopefully it affects change.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of people now that are, talking out and, just using their voice. And that's what I'm just trying to
Be loud.
Use that voice. I mean, if you can be mean to the people close to you, then be mean to the people that are not, So
I think that's something that we as women were taught from a very young age, though, is to be nice. And that doesn't serve us well in those situations.
yeah.
Be nice as in like suck it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if we're mean and call the person out, then we're being mean and we're not being nice.
You're not being a lady because you're not letting them do stuff to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense. Complete sense.
Oh yeah.
Being sarcastic, obviously.
You don't talk out again. Like, so you have personal ones. So you don't talk out against family or you don't bring embarrassment, bro. Come tell me and I'll scream it from the rooftops for you.
Good.
Yeah.
Are they, so you said that they were working with women who had those experiences in the past. Is it only veterans? Are they trying to actively engage in changing military culture, like for active duty as well?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Both.
So
Military in general. Yeah.
I'm asking because Nona is very, when she gets that look on her face, when she's like really, I don't know what you want to call it, like very invested. Like
Yeah.
she like becomes passionate about it. She's going to want to like help out in some way.
I'll let you know.
She does. She's done pop-up events for a couple other nonprofits that we didn't really have any direct involvement with, like through like a little pop-up fundraiser event for one called IAC Kids in a local restaurant. She convinced people to donate money and their time and stuff to all this, and for a little fundraiser event. It was pretty good. And they were super happy about it because it was zero effort for them, right? Like they're getting free exposure, they're getting donations, and they didn't have to do anything. Dog barking. We have that all the time.
How many dogs?
3.
We have 3 too.
You can. You can see them limp away real quick. Sorry about that.
It's
No
okay.
problem.
Well,
And continue to be loud.
We deal with the dog barking over here all the time, and there's a couple different things that we do. We can literally just pause the recording and then pick it right back up, but I can also sometimes get it edited out in software. It just all depends. Like this, that's probably not terrible.
well, I was about to say thank you for your time right before the dog started
You're
barking.
you're trying to get rid of them?
What? It's already been an hour. They have busy lives. We can't take up
Okay.
any more time.
Okay.
I can too. Here we go.
All right. So, anything else you want to talk about or put out there? Or?
Not that I know of. We're just trying to be the change. I'm tired of, oh, I shoulda, or I need to do that, or I need to do this, or I should start doing it. I'm just doing it. I'm just getting in people's business and just kind of creating some chaos so I can find some solutions.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yeah. So I figure the advocate thing is a huge thing. So we're just trying to be.
How'd you guys even learn about that? Did somebody come up to you or approach you, or did you see a job posting? How did that even come about?
So I've been teaching self-defense for battered women for 10 plus years. And then I did a lot of that in the military and whatnot. And so it kind of carried over. And then when I got my degree, it was in family and child services. And so I've always worked in this sector,
Gotcha.
Battered women, helping kids and things like that. So it's just been kind of, I just like to help. And I have a really soft spot for kids that are going through hard situations. And I'm really good at getting out of them. I have a lot of solutions and a lot of coping skills that I can teach people. And so if I can do it and you don't have to suffer through it, I'm going to help you out.
That's awesome.
It is.
You can tell on her face when a story is really hitting right here in her heart.
Right.
She would be doing the same thing.
It's all the time. I mean, literally, you hear about women getting attacked or kids starving and, everywhere. Oh, that sucks. ASPCA. Oh, and I'm just like, bro, let's go. Let's do something, because right now it's happening, and it's happening around me, and it's happening around my kid. And my kid's being affected by it because of parenting and, bad choices and all this other stuff. So we're trying to just kind of just rein it in a little bit. The racism is crazy. My kid's getting called ching chong, getting thrown in the trash. And I'm just like, cool. Hi, that's not how these things work. What can we do to help it?
What I miss?
That's a lot more civil than I am typically.
What I miss?
They're just asking how I got involved in doing this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Jay just kind of tags along and supports me.
The silent, but not silent, but deadly. What is it? The guy that's just kind of in the background that everybody's scared of. They're why is he here? Why is he watching us?
Yeah, really, honestly, it's because he won't say anything unless he's got something to say. So normally when I'm able to kind of gauge the situation off of him, because if he gets mad, then what'd you do? Because he's pretty calm. I'm the firecracker. So if he's gotten mad, then I'm like, hey, you did something.
You done up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty quick to make on-spot corrections.
Right.
Somebody says something or does something, especially in the direction of the kids. Mm-hmm. There's nothing I won't say.
Oh, for sure. I had a situation where a neighbor was yelling at one of my friend's kids, and I just ran out of the house, and I was like, who the are you talking to? I'm like, why are you yelling at a 9-year-old about leash laws there, Betty? You need to sit down.
Our neighbor was yelling at the 12-year-old. So she was outside with the dogs, and one of them decided to chase a cat or a squirrel or something like that. And so I ran out there. The dogs, about 99% of the time, I say something to them once, and they're like, turn right around, right? We f***ed up. So I walk out there, and she's screeching at the 12-year-old girl. She's like, your dog needs to be on a leash and this and that. The dog was in our yard. And she's like, it tried to bite my friend. There's nobody at your house. What are you talking about? Just on and on and on. So I laid into her and I walked back inside, and I thought for sure that because she wasn't here when it happened, because we get the person detection alerts and stuff from the cameras. I was like, didn't even say anything to her because I figured she would have seen it on the camera. And then she came back home and I was like, yeah, I had a thing with the neighbor.
Yeah. We have good neighbors though. We like our dogs got out and the neighbor was like, missing something? I'm like, what? Well,
So, and I've seen like our other neighbors' dogs, like they'll get out or they'll be just like in their yard off leash and then like it'll wander off or whatever.
It's because my dog's a pit bull.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
And she's like the smallest little runt pit bull.
Stop.
Yeah. She's got like the sad
so
eyes all the
sweet.
time. She just wants to pet. And when she wiggles, it's like wagging her tail. Yeah. Yeah.
But how you described your guys' situation is the complete opposite here. I'm the quiet, reserved. He's the loud, fiery.
Yeah.
No, I try not to get angry or mad or passionate or say things because historically speaking, when I have been outspoken about things, people get really mad because I'm saying very truthful things. So I'm like, all right, I just won't say anything to anybody anymore, so people just don't get butthurt, you know? Because if they really want me to say what's in my mind and thoughts about things, man.
Which is why I'm always in trouble.
Always in trouble. Maybe that's why Andrew's always in trouble.
I've never been in trouble a day in my life.
Oh
Everybody
my
loves
God.
me. I'm a sweet, cuddly teddy bear that everybody loves to be around.
There's nothing sweet about you.
Always in trouble.
So I just sit there, silently observe, and just listen, and just kind of let people come to terms or come to their own on things, and my opinion or whatever or advice, so that they can come ask.
Yeah.
Same. I'm the same way.
Well, there's always the guys that are like the big guys that everybody knows. Okay, I don't want to mess with him because he's like twice my size. And then you have the guys that are like off to the side that are, silent. They're not talking to anybody, but you can tell that they're paying attention to everything. You're like, why is he a cop? What's he doing? You ever?
Oh no, gotten real chummy with we go to coffee with the cop. All the cops know me and him in town, so you're not going to be surprised.
I used to do a thing where I would wave when I had my Mustang, as it was unique. It was painted, everything was unique about it. It was one of one. So I made an effort every time I saw a cop to wave so that they would think I was friendly. And I would hope that would keep me from getting any tickets or them, being mad at me or anything.
The key word in there, think I was friendly.
Yeah.
Because he's not actually friendly.
We don't have to have a real encounter. Just a little dash wave like, hey.
Did it work for you?
Yeah. I mean, with one exception. And it wasn't even my fault. It was very loud car. It was like drizzling one day and I was driving and just pulled out of the intersection. There's like a little Toyota Prius next to me. And they did like a little burnout thinking that I was going to race them in the rain or something.
Cute.
And so we make it through the intersection to the next light. And I'm behind this car. I'm not doing anything. For one, the car barely moves in the rain. It didn't have enough weight in the rear end to keep the tires down. So I'm just driving and the cop comes flying up behind me, like driving through the median, weaving through traffic. And he pulls me over. And I'm like, what's up? Like, what's going on? He walks up, you know why I pulled you over? No. It's like, you were speeding. I was like, no, I wasn't. I was going 35 and the speed limit's 50. I couldn't even get up to the speed limit. And so he's like mad at me for not admitting that to something that I didn't do. So he gave me a ticket for unsafe start because my car was too loud.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cute.
They're like, were you speeding? Yes, I sure was.
But I wasn't though. That was the thing. I was like, don't you have radar? Like, shouldn't you know? You just
I
can't.
don't argue with them. I'm like, hey, be safe. Give me my ticket. See you later. Have a good day. I'll pay it. Whatever.
I actually have found that when people are just like, just give me the ticket, I'm fine, whatever. That they're like, oh, I'm just going to give you a citation. Or not a citation, a warning.
Warning, yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird. Like, just don't argue with him. And
Yeah.
she's like, that didn't happen.
Really like when I tell them I've got my gun in the car, I'm like, yo, I got my gun on my hip just to let you know, and they're like, oh, as long as you're not going to use it. And I'm like, I just told you. So, yeah.
What?
No comment.
She gets very nervous about stuff like that. If we were about to get pulled over, she'd be like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm like, it's fine. This hasn't happened. I'm just giving you a hypothetical.
I just don't have good experiences with police officers in general. So I'm not very strong in those situations. So I just avoid them at all costs.
And then have them over for barbecues when they're off duty.
Yeah, when they're off duty.
Yeah.
I jokingly talk about like crimes, like hypothetical things all the time when like our cop friends are over. I'm like, yeah, we're going to go and do this and break these laws. And he's like, dude, stop. Don't talk about that in front of me.
Right.
I'm like, not really going to do it. I'm making you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that your favorite thing to do, Andrew? Make people uncomfortable?
Yeah.
This is so I can see how cool I can be around you. I'm being
Yeah. Actually, so that brings me to a question that I wanted to ask. Did either of you ever get an Article 15?
of course.
Okay.
Well, hello. Hello.
So,
Of course. I stay in trouble, bro.
so I've seen a trend where people are saying, oh, I don't trust my leadership, any leaders in my unit, if they won't tell me like they got an Article 15 before they were an E4. If you're, first sergeant and you never got an Article 15, I don't trust you. You're not a good leader.
You're not good. I'm always in trouble, bro. And you can put that into corporate world too, because how many times I've been to HR? Yeah, do what I said. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's the craziest thing you went to HR for?
I am not allowed to talk about that one.
I don't even know how to process that. My mind is going in all the directions. It could be something
I'll
totally
do the-
G-rated. It could be something totally X-rated. It could be just... Okay.
Yeah.
Next thing then. Do you have any final questions for them now that my mind is in all the places?
Tell us a story you are allowed to tell.
I can tell the one so I was working at 511 before I worked for the coffee company, and I was the assistant manager, and I've always been this way. I've always gotten in trouble, like, because you're not going to do and just do it in front of me. Like, I can see you, right? Right. And so there was a guy, and but this was literal like harassment. And so he was like grabbing on my shoulders, and he'd like print his business and like he'd like try on pants and be like, oh yeah. And I'm like, bro, that's not a thing. And so I went to HR, and I got HR'd for
not good customer service, not letting him rub up on you.
Yeah. I got HR'd for that one, and then they fired me.
What?
Yeah, it was the whole thing because I was rude. I
didn't let him finish, so we were fine. Oh my god!
I've never owned any of their apparel, and now I won't.
I don't even know what 511 is.
They're another apparel company. They make like pants and stuff.
Yeah,
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, it was gnarly, but it was a franchise owned. The ones in San Antonio. Yeah.
Okay.
Those guys can suck my dick.
Well, which one can't you tell?
I love that he just made you say that. We were letting it go. we can blur that. We can whatever remove those words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, even got knives at this point.
So many things have happened since then. It's just It sucks. We get calls all the time. Oh, we just got let go, and I'm like, well, welcome to the club.
I mean, he has similar stories about his previous employer that he's not allowed to talk about either.
Well, I'm allowed to talk about it.
Okay.
But I'll be receiving threatening letters
he
and
is
lawsuits.
Avoiding talking about it to avoid lawsuits.
Yeah.
Doing the smart thing, taking the high road, not trashing them on your podcast.
I tried.
Right, Andrew?
I tried previously.
Right, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, thank you guys for coming on. We know you have busy lives. You need to go help all of the children in your area.
We do. We got some stuff that we're doing. We're trying to get a little like after school program where high school girls can come and learn some self-defense.
That's good. I like that.
It's going to be super cool.
What does something like that take to get off the ground?
Politics. Because you got a lot of people that are just like, well, we don't want our kids learning that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you're going to wish that she learned it when she gets into a serious situation where she couldn't get out of it because the lack of know-how.
Right.
And then it's going to cause lifetime of trauma.
Yeah.
Hopefully I can help with mindset and stuff like that so that I can give them a little bit of brains before they get out into the world.
Have you seen those like those really, really bad, cringy, like self-defense? They clearly don't know what they're doing, and they get mocked by the internet. I wonder if there'd be like a viral way to make like something humorous and be like, see, we could prevent this bad training that they're going to get from the internet anyways by having a real class with somebody who's certified.
Yeah, absolutely. So
don't do that. That sounds way too cringy. I'm sure you can come up with a better idea.
Yeah.
I have good ideas sometimes.
Cringe.
Right. You're wrong. Right?
Sure. She admitted that I was right the other day on the show.
Oh.
I admit it every single time. Now, on the other hand, he does not admit when I am right. Whatever. Every single time I say, nope, you were right. I was wrong. I say it exactly like that. And nope, I don't get the same back.
No.
Never.
You're right.
On that note, thank you so much for coming to our podcast.
Thanks for inviting us. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
I have to have you guys on again sometime.
Yeah, for sure.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.